Welcome back, Nedbank Pitch and Polish fans. Thanks for joining me, your host, Khosi Khalegi, for another exciting episode. Well, last week we saw two pitches from our yellow group. First up, we had Braden and Avi of Breeze Delivery, followed by Xolani of XTLS Dreadlocks Specialist. They delivered strong pitches, and tonight we'll see if that trend continues with our remaining yellow group contestants. Before we find out, a quick reminder to stay tuned for our viewer prize at the end of this episode, and that you'll need to answer a question about one of the pitches to stand a chance of winning. Speaking of which, it's time for you to meet tonight's very first contestant. Up first is Nthabiseng Lephoko, and she'll be pitching her health and wellness business, Nutrintha. Over to you, Nthabiseng.
Hi, Nthabiseng.
Hi, how are you doing, Ella?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good, little bit nervous. Yes, but very excited.
What have you got on your table?
Thank you so much. So what we have in our table is immunity booster shots made from sea moss.
Yeah.
And it gives you a lot of energy and it helps to generate body cells. And this is the raw organic of it. And we have our beautiful skincare that are made from the extra waste that comes from it. So I'll tell you all about it as we move along. And this skincare is actually very amazing and it helps to hydrate your skin. And we have another African extract herb which is called shebe, and that helps to grow your hair.
All right. So it feels like a pitch before the pitch, right?
I'm just excited.
Are you ready for the main pitch?
Yes, I am.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Hi, did you know that sea moss can help clear mucus from your lungs? And it can also regenerate body cells. My name is Nthabiseng Lephoko. I am from Nutrintha. I am the managing director, and we are 5 full-time and 2 part-time. Our biggest competitor is Faithful to Nature. What they do is they take this raw organic sea moss, package it and give it to the consumer to process themselves. As an agro-processing business, what we do is we process it, infuse it into beautiful fruity smoothies, and here, which is a grab-and-go product. And our target market is pharmaceutical companies, whereby we are already supplying Lakefield and we're aiming at getting at big retail stores. This is a fast-growing market it's growing by 7.7% annually, and is 2.9 billion worth in South Africa. What we're going to do with the 650, we're going to expand our agro-processing plant and be able to offer our products to our consumers at an affordable price. Thank you.
Thanks, Nthabiseng. Let's start with you, Monique.
Very interesting product. I noticed that you've been through a number of growth development programs.
Yes.
I can see that, it's assisted with your product and your distribution, etc. How do you feel another program will assist you?
Okay, so we learn every day. And also there's a lot of things to learn and grow. And especially when it comes to financial education is not something that we got. So we go into business, and that is an element that we need to learn further into as we are scaling, and how to manage, bigger scaling up and everything. So having to be in part of this, we are going to learn a lot from Race Corp. And we're looking forward to having an opportunity and just to learning other elements of business that we don't know. Because there's certain things that we need to let go, and we need to learn new things so that we can be prosperous and reach an international market as well.
Where is your product currently placed?
Currently, you find it at the Lakefield Pharmacy, and we have our distribution office in Melville at 27 boxes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nthabiseng. Tell me, what evidence, scientific or other, is there that CMOS is really a superfood? What is the scientific ingredient that makes all the difference?
Thank you so much for asking that question. So scientifically, what we've done is we've had a support from the SABS and a backing with the Limpopo University, whereby they tested and analyzed our products that you see here today. And they have actually given us feedback to say that it has a nutrient, and it's got also vitamins like your magnesium, vitamin C, can make your skin beautiful and also help to ease tense muscles. So there is a medical backing or scientific rather backing of it based on research that we have also done, not what we've heard it does as we did before, but it was very good to go through processes of learning and understanding our product deeper ourselves.
So who's your customer? Who is the customer that you're targeting with this product?
We are targeting a B2B, and then there will be our B2C. Our consumers will access our products from the ones that we are supplying.
Yeah, I want to pick up from that, because in your pitch you spoke about your market was the pharmaceutical companies. Did you say that?
Yes, it's basically pharmaceuticals, because they are a door to pharmacies, and then the big market, the big retail stores as well. That's what we're aiming at.
So explain to me what you mean when you say a pharmaceutical company. What do you mean? Give me an example of that.
Okay, so I believe that I was supposed to put in the sense that the pharmaceutical body, that all the pharmacies are registered in there, then we can approach them to help us to be able to reach multiple pharmacies.
Pharmacies, okay.
Yes,
I see what you're saying. And then who collects the CMOS?
There are harvesters who collect CMOS from the rocks, and then we buy it from the other businesses that buys from the harvesters that are closer to the oceans. And then we take it, we deactivate it from all the elements, the metal elements, and then that's why we're able to then have it here ready for you.
Okay. Nthabiseng, thanks for your pitch. You may leave.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I mean, I think she put a lot of work, like we were saying, all this, the booklet and bringing all the product and whatever. So, I mean, I think she put a lot of effort in the marketing. She's clearly kind of quite well versed in that. But I don't like the business. For me, it sounds like a bit like a hocus pocus business. I mean, I don't like that you're giving people something to eat. And for me, there's no scientific credibility, and I don't like that. Like, she wasn't able to, I mean, CMOS, but what is the active ingredient that differentiates it from, I don't know, whatever else. So, and I felt like she didn't really know who her target market was.
Yeah.
Pharmaceuticals, retail,
Yeah.
I also don't like, I mean, okay, I'll pause there.
Tell us how you really feel.
Tell us how you feel. Let it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I besides my blunder, like it's just, at some point in time, entrepreneurs need to take the learnings that they've had and run with it. She's been through a number of programs, and you can see the benefit. I mean, it's in the packaging, it's in the brochure.
So where did you see that you'd been through a number of programs?
In the application.
In the application pack that they've done here.
Because we will check her out. Yeah.
So she's been with
Cedar.
with Cedar, there was a German sponsor that she's had, some Wakanda or something, a couple of programs.
Yeah.
If you haven't grown as a business owner from those, what is going to make this the silver bullet? It's almost like by now you should be able to, you've already managed manufacturing the product, you distributed it to one place, you should be taking those learnings and placing it somewhere else. So for me, it's just like, run with it now.
Yeah, I was particularly disappointed that she around the target market by now, having been through all those programs. I mean, the one thing that we always ask on this show is, what makes you special? So like what's different, which would have been, we've only one with this active ingredient. Also, what I didn't like is that when she says, brought her competition up in the pitch. She brought
faithful, whatever.
that you just don't do that.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask, so what makes your product better than faithful by nature, whatever she said. And that's like a strong brand. At least I've seen faithful by nature. I've never used it, but
I really like the packaging. I think that it looks very professional. I haven't seen those up close, but it looks really good. So I think she's presented her brand well.
Yeah, and she came in very, very strong. She opened up. She's very affable. You want to speak to her. Yeah. Great. Let's go.
Nthabiseng, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Khosi.
Excellent. How are you feeling?
Oh, the nerves are gone now. I feel much better.
So were you nervous going in?
Just walking there, but once you're there, actually, the nerves just go away because we live and breathe this business, right?
Okay, so you're used to pitching.
It's my first pitch, and it's exciting.
Very first pitch?
Yes.
So what training did you then take as value for you?
Basically, I must say that, there's a great support and behind this whole thing, and they hold our hands and then they see us through, and I'm very grateful for that. And more than any other thing, I think what I appreciate is just to get outside my comfort zone and be able to do something, then to take my business to the next level.
And taking your business to the next level obviously involves you being a different type of entrepreneur because you need to grow at each level. How would the 1 million rand influence that?
It's going to be very exciting because I heard that there's a 350K just of learning and growing and becoming. So I'm excited about that. And the other 650,000 is going to basically help us to expand our agro-processing plan.
And in terms of do you feel that CMOS is something that the judges will look at your field of business and say, that is a business that I want to invest in?
I must say that it's a very interesting and fast-growing business of 2.9 billion worth in South Africa. And it's growing by 7.7% annually. So there's no other better business to look at, right, in terms of investment besides the market that's growing.
I'm loving the confidence.
Thank you.
Seems like you've been polishing quite more than your pitch.
Oh, well, I just love what I do, and, it's been very exciting to be here. I'm grateful.
Nthabiseng, I'm wishing you all the best for the rest of the competition.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nicely done, Nthabiseng. That's another entrepreneur doing really fascinating work. The yellow group is made up of a pretty interesting mix of business types, isn't it? I think that's one of the most amazing things about Nedbank Pitch and Polish. The competition is open to anyone, and the learning program the contestants go through is designed to support entrepreneurs no matter what industry they're in. And none of it would be possible without our sponsors. So before we hear the second pitch of the evening, I'd like to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Nedbank, our program organizers, Race Corp, and our venue sponsor, the Business Exchange. Now it really is time for the last pitch of the night. Also from Gauteng, here is Cindy Semenye of Etex 54. Best of luck, Cindy. You've got this.
Hi, Cindy.
Hello, Alan.
So there's a lot of stuff around you. Tell us about what's on the floor, what's to your right, what you're wearing. Tell us all about that before the pitch.
All right, so this on the floor here represents two types of landfills. I believe you all know what a landfill is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a landfill, ordinary landfill of clothing, of textile that is used today. Polyester, cotton, you name it, right? These items here would take about from 100 to 1,000 years to start decomposing. Here we have a different landfill where the product here is made from paper and therefore biodegrades in 4 to 6 weeks if it ends up in a landfill. And then here we have items that have been made by paper.
Okay. And you're going to tell us all about that in your pitch.
I believe so.
Okay. Cindy, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Hello, judges. Did you know that 10% of the world's emission is produced by textile waste? As we speak, 70% of the world's used garments end up on African shores every week. We provide a solution. Our textile is made from paper called washi. Washi is made from abaca and softwood plant. It is made using a Japanese traditional production method. We only use 10 liters of water to produce our textile compared to polyester or cotton that uses about 2,700 liters to make just one t-shirt. Europe has passed a law. By January 2025, all textile and fashion industries should provide traceability of their product from raw material to end of life of garment. With our 25 years of research and 40 years of experience, we have created a product that solves the problem and allows the companies to have a certifying body like the Green Leaf and the GOTS to give them the certification that they need to qualify for the rule that has been set by the European Union. We ask for 650,000 to use in our machinery purchase and our factory space, and also for our manufacturing marketing. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. All right, let's start with you, Monique.
Absolutely fascinating product.
Thank you.
I'm assuming that the outfit you have on is made from the washi?
Entirely.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
One question around, you mentioned traceability, that is going to become an industry requirement.
Yes.
What would the barriers to entry be then if this is going to be adopted from an industry perspective?
Well, the barriers of entry really at this stage are not as much as they were if we were saying a year ago. And the reason for that is that because now there is an actual law. So companies such as Chanel or companies such as H&M are looking for designers or product providers like us who have spent time and research resources to then find solution that they don't have time and they don't want to spend time researching, and therefore currently they are all looking to to tap into us so that they can respond to those regulations by January 2025. So in our case, it's more the financial part to get the product to the market at scale.
And how are you going to stay ahead of the curve?
How am I going to stay ahead of the curve? Whew, that's a good question. I did think about that quite a few times. What I have thought that I have a background of European market. I studied fashion in Milan, and I have access to Torino Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, and we have been scouted by Flying Solo to participate at Milan and at New York Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week, September and February next year. We believe that if we can present our product on time in these platforms, then we will be able to actually provide them with the yarn rather than provide them with the finished product so that they can produce their textile. And the ones that need us to produce their textile, then we can do that. But so long as we don't have the facility to produce the textile, we can provide the yarn that you see here next to me. Companies such as Makosa is currently testing our yarn to see if it's fit, since they recently launched in America, and they were looking for a textile that would respond to those regulations, and our product actually responds to that 100%.
Cindy, I love your outfits.
Thank you.
Very stylish. So, but what are, I mean, with your Milan fashion background and all of that, what are the drawbacks or limitations of a textile from paper compared to traditional textiles?
Well, I would say that at this point, if we had to say drawbacks, it would be the harvesting of the raw material, right? But we are working with a forestry, a Canadian FSC forestry certification body that we only harvest, recycle the cellulose that has been thrown away after they have cut down the wood for furniture. And therefore, if we want to produce our own raw material, we would have then to plant the trees from the start. And every tree that we use cannot be younger than 8 years old. So that would set us back a little bit if we had to concentrate on just starting the whole production from onset. So we're hoping that the Canadian and all the other forestry bodies would allow us to keep recycling their waste.
So where are you sourcing the material now?
Okay, currently I've been working with a Japanese company called Etex. This gentleman, he has 40 years of experience. He was a textile technician for Chanel. And when he retired, that's when he went into researching this material into textile. So when I met him, he was making the textile just for sneakers. So we worked together to produce textile for fabric, right? So at this point, the yarn, as you see it, for it to get to that point, it's made in Japan. And then we bring in the yarn and we make the textile in South Africa. But the point is to get us to a point where we bring in just the paper, as you can see it in your examples, the other one, where it's the paper, then the process of slicing it and then twisting it into yarn. We're hoping to bring that in South Africa so that we can make the textile.
Cindy, I'm going to ask a question. So what does your business do? I'm trying to work out, are you an agent for the Japanese company? Like, I'm trying to position you. What do you do?
So I'm supposed to be a mill that produces textile.
A mill?
A mill that produces textile.
Right.
Not all mills make their own yarn.
Right.
But we are hoping to make our own yarn because what we're lacking is funding for the machinery. So you're bringing in the yarn? We're bringing in the yarn, we produce the textile, and we supply the textile. But we can also supply the yarn.
Okay.
So the core business...
So are you selling the fabric?
Yes.
You selling so you bring in the yarn.
I make the fabric.
You give it to a mill to produce.
Yes.
You get fabric at the end, and you use it to manufacture yourself, or you give it to a third party to manufacture.
I manufacture myself, but I also sell the fabric.
In South Africa.
Yes.
Okay. And there are people buying.
Currently, we've worked with restaurants to make their chef uniforms, and this one of the restaurants that we've worked with is Le Creatives restaurant in Bryanston. We've been working with them for the past 3 years, and we're also currently working with Makosa, and we're hoping to attract the other designers.
Okay, thank you. I think I've got enough.
Thank you.
You may leave. Thank you. Okay, something's not stacking up for me. It doesn't make sense to me. You got a mill, you have to have quantity to put it in a mill. Then you're not going to run 50 meters to make a couple of garments. It's not stacking for me. What am I missing?
You know, I'm with you. I mean, I thought that question was very instructive because she started, and also the way she answered, I'm supposed to be a mill, and then this, and then the yarn.
She's got a lot of dependencies also.
Yeah.
So I liked your question around what do you actually do? What do you actually own in this process?
Yeah.
Because it did come across as though she's an agent and a reseller.
Yes.
So just a distributor, perhaps.
But then she should own that. If that's what she is, then she should say, I'm the only one in South Africa that knows this guy from Chanel or whatever, and I'm an exclusive distributor of this unique. I mean, that's there's nothing wrong with that business model. If that's what it is. I think she's trying to be too many things, but she doesn't know what the real focus is.
Listen, it's a fascinating product, though. I mean, you can't take that away from it. It's really an interesting product.
I really liked her outfit. I mean, it's really nice that it's made from that, and I liked the pitch about the landfill and all of that. But what was not convincing for me is, I mean, when I asked her the question, so what are the limitations of this fabric relative to others? And she didn't have a convincing, it can't be exactly the same. Otherwise it would be everywhere. And I mean, the fact that it's paper-based, so it's disappointing that she wasn't, either she doesn't know or she wasn't prepared to be, you know, you've got to tell your customers it can do this and this, but it can't do this and that.
Yeah, hence my question also around the barriers to entry.
Yeah.
Because if it's going to become a regulatory thing where you have to actually bring the sustainability lens into your production, what is her differentiator going to be?
Yeah.
Just the fact that she's an early starter and has done the research? Not sure.
Also, I mean, I feel like this importing from Japan could be quite costly. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, but from a cost point of view, that this is importing all the yarn and all that. Like, what is their local source for this cellulose or whatever it is locally?
Well, the cellulose is coming from Canada, from what I understand.
Yeah.
The cellulose is from Canada, and somehow.
And then the yarn is from
sounds like
Japan.
it doesn't have a good green footprint if it's Canada to Japan to South Africa.
Yeah.
All right, let's
And
go.
then
Interesting,
Makosa is
like an
also testing
innovative.
it only for New York and not testing it for the local. I've also thought that was a bit interesting. But anyway.
Let's go.
Cindy, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
So you're telling me that this outfit is made from paper?
Like I said, it's 100% paper, yes.
100% paper. What are you going to do with the paper, the 1 million rand paper?
The 1 million rand paper, well, what I'm going to do is create a meal in South Africa where we can finally, as South Africans, become the solution provider for the textile crisis that's happening in the world. No one has a solution, but we do.
But when Monique asked you about what you're going to do to stay ahead of the curve, I saw that was a curveball for you.
It was a curveball in a sense that even though I had thought about how to mitigate when we get to that point, the scale in which we are trying to grow at, and also what is happening right now in the fashion industry, changes how you plan things every day.
Yeah.
It's a very complex industry that requires constant change, and we are about to change other things as we speak.
So you feel like you are ahead of the pack, leading the pack, and you are taking things to the next level within your industry.
I think that we're disrupting the market entirely,
Okay.
from the beginning to the end.
All right.
We are entirely disrupting the market. Listen, we have an issue in Africa. 70% of textile waste being dumped in Africa in the name of used garments. That's huge. That means that we create a landfill every 5 years, each country combined. In the next 40 years, what will happen, right, to Africa? So we have to provide solutions that disrupt the market by providing the industry itself with a textile that will do good when they throw it back at us as textile waste.
Okay. Well, we're expecting to see more of you, and we're hoping to see your progress in the competition.
I'm here.
So, a textile made from paper, how cool is that? We haven't seen something like this in the competition before, but the judges seem to have a lot of questions about the business side of things. Has Cindy done enough to go through to round 2? Let's go chat to the judges to see if I can figure out who they're sending home tonight. Hello, judges.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you.
Feeling judgmental.
Feeling judgmental. That's a great feeling. The yellow group. We've had some great contestants, some great pitches, some not so great. I'd like to find out just a little bit more information about this. Monique, how do you feel about the last pitch that we had right now? Cindy's part of the textile industry. Brand new way, brand new approach, and she's bold in really believing in her brand new approach, right? How do you feel about keeping her in the competition?
Oh, she's definitely in the competition.
So that means that she's going through to the next round.
She's in the competition, right?
She's in the competition, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, do you mean she's currently in the competition, or is she going through to the next round?
She's currently in the running this competition. It's
Okay,
fantastic.
so she's a very strong candidate.
Very strong candidate.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible. But I remember when you were asking Olane about why his business focuses specifically on African hair, I heard the tone in your voice. It was, take me through that. Is that something that would limit his business from going to the next round?
I think so. Possibly. Very real possibility.
Okay,
mean-
so his business is not going to the next round.
I didn't say that, but I think that, he's got a very narrow focus, in a country that's very diverse. Could be something he should possibly review.
The only market he might exclude is you.
The hairless.
So I was trying to have a conversation with him about that, How are your dreadlock wigs looking, But inclusivity, right? We've got a duo, Braden and Avi. They did well, in your personal opinion, Alan?
Yeah, they did very well. They did very well. Wonderful pitch. Yeah, it was a good pitch.
Their
But
businesses.
I think it's easier if there are two of you than if there's one.
Yeah, it's like you get half points.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
we should
Yeah,
consider that too.
get half the points.
So you're going to give them half the points. But in terms of growth, they're looking like they're talking about doubling their revenue. I mean, that's over 250% growth over 12 months.
Yeah,
So
but if you go from 100 Rand to 250 Rand, that's,
But it's not 100 Rand that they're talking about, Alan.
well, we don't know. They didn't mention that. So we don't know if it's off a low base or a high base. And at an early stage, those high growth rates of a low base are normal.
So because they're of a low base, their scalability is
they
not
didn't
relevant.
They didn't say any of that in their pitch. So,
Okay. In Nthabiseng's business, what are the key factors or elements in her business that could really progress her in this competition?
Pitch and polish would progress her, to polishing her pitch. I think that she's still got work to do on that. But what I really like is that there is, I hadn't heard of that particular extract before. And, I like to learn new things. And that also propels me to think that one could be propelled to the next round, or perhaps not.
Well, thank you very much, judges. And as you've heard it for yourselves, the yellow group have done their pitches, and it's now time for us to propel to the elimination.
Hello, contestants. This is where I earn my money, to be the bad and the good judge. For some of you, I'm going to be a great judge. For others, I'm going to be a terrible judge. But I think the message here is to listen to the feedback. Right now, you're probably not listening to it. So when you watch this again, go and listen to the feedback. That's what this is about. This is about pitch and then polish so that you can be better. So even if you get eliminated today, then I think it's very important that you take the lessons from this whole experience and apply that in your business. And we've seen that over the years where our contestants that have fallen out in round one, go on to build great businesses. So in no particular order, I'm just going to start with what's on my paper here right now. Nthabiseng. All right, you had a really great marketing effort. I love the people who do things and show things. So you've produced your product, you showed us your product, and people forget to actually show their product in a pitching competition. You didn't forget that. Your marketing is exquisite. You really put a huge amount of effort into that. And it seems like you've got a niche product there. On the negative side, that niche product, the active ingredient, you didn't speak about that sea moss has got this active ingredient or these two active ingredients, which means this. You didn't take us from the feature to the benefit side. You didn't take us along that journey quickly enough or well enough, in my opinion. You answered the questions, you took too long to answer the questions, so you waffled, which gives us the impression you don't know the answer. And I think the big trip up was your target market. When we were asking about what's your target market, it felt like, you know, in pool or in snooker, calling all pockets. You were just looking for anything. It didn't feel like this is the market we're going after, or these are the two markets. First we're going after that, and then we're going after that. It felt all over the place. And then the last thing is you didn't use all your time. And from our perspective, it means that you disrespect the process. It feels that you're unprepared and disrespect the process. And for that reason, Nthabiseng, you are eliminated from Pitch and Polish. You may leave. All right, who's next? We've got Xolani. Right, let's start off with the positive. I thought you did a really, really great pitch. Wonderful, wonderful pitch. We like the fact that you use tech in your business, that you're starting to use tech even as a control. I think you very smartly use your promotions and your discounts in order to try and bring some level of control in a business that is hard to control. When you've got people and you've got cash, you've got control issues. The general consensus from the judges was that you're very thoughtful. You've thought a lot about your business, which is very, very important. But on the negative side, your use of funds was not clear enough. We didn't know how you were going to use the 650,000 Rand cash. You made general statements. We wanted to understand, like, security. What does that mean? What is the security problem that you have? So you didn't connect us to how you're going to use the money. This is the problem. We're using the money for this, and so we're going to solve this problem, which means this. Your target market only came through in the Q&A. So you didn't speak about your target market at all, who you're after. That should have been in the pitch, not in the Q&A. And had we not asked the question, we wouldn't have heard it. So that's important that you always speak about. And then I don't think, having said that you're thoughtful, the one thing you haven't been thoughtful about is controls. You're currently all in KZN, 3 stores in KZN. You can drive between the 3 stores and you could probably have a camera here and there. But when you expand beyond that and you start talking about, 10 and 20 and 50 stores, controls is everything. You will lose your business because of controls, and you haven't thought about that enough. So, do you go through? Don't you go through? Xolani, you're staying. All right, you stayed. All right. Right, now we've got the last two. So it's Braden and Avi and Cindy. So obviously, doing the maths, one of you is going, or maybe 2 of you are going, okay, and one of you is staying, or maybe 2 of you are staying. All right, let's start with you, Braden and Avi. I thought it was great pitch. It was well thought through. Very good use of the money. We were very clear on how you're going to use the 650. I believed what you were going to do with it. But I think everyone who, as an investor, your kind of business, we literally see every 2 weeks somebody applies to our Partner Elite program with something similar, last mile. And so if you know that, we know that. So don't underestimate what we know as judges. So talk about the highly competitive, and this is how we differentiating ourselves. And I know everyone says they are, but this is why you should believe me. You didn't push that enough, because we already started off quite skeptical about the level of competition in the space, especially since COVID. Your driver risk mitigants came up as a topic amongst the judges. That we all know that drivers are a hard part of the business to control, and you didn't speak to that. And your niche was not made clear enough. My sense is that you're in the high speed, that 1 hour. I think you could have spent a little bit more time niching yourself in your pitch there to differentiate yourself. So you were close, but no cigars, they say. And you spoke about growth, but I didn't hear the demand side. So we mix up growth and demand. You know, growth could be picking up excess demand, like the stuff the other guys don't get to. But is that demand growing or isn't it? You never spoke about that. Cindy, your outfits are absolutely magnificent. Your whole, everything that you prepped for us, I thought your props were magnificent. You told a story. Storytelling is so important in entrepreneurship. We love the innovation. Innovation is very important, but also very difficult to be the first in the market because you're educating everyone, you know, on this thing. And you're going to have all these questions. And we didn't feel that you answered enough of those questions. It's a future-based product, which is also very exciting. On the negative side, you didn't tell us why you were an authority in the space. It also, once again, only came out in the Q&A. Like, we didn't know you were a designer until in the Q&A. So you say, I'm a designer. You start there. I'm a designer. I work in this space. I know fabric. This is the problem. And then you would have given us your authority in the space. Very confusing for me in particular is what business you're in. Are you in the licensing business, the importing of yarn business, the manufacturing, the design? We didn't know which part of the business. It felt like a bit of each. And when you look at the numbers, it doesn't stack up. And perhaps you're too early for this pitching competition, but perhaps you're not. So which one of the three of you goes through? Is it our innovator or the copycat? Which one goes through? Okay. And the one that's going through is the copycat. Cindy, you may leave. All right, gentlemen, you've heard all the feedback. The important thing is to incorporate that into your next pitch. If we hear the same pitch again in the next round, you won't go through to the next round. You have to take this as about polishing, about getting better. Take the feedback, embed that in your next pitch, take yourself through to the final. Well done, you may leave.
Congratulations, Xolani, Braden, and Avi on making it through the elimination. I'm looking forward to seeing how you adapt your pitches using the feedback the judges gave you. It's always hard saying goodbye to the contestants, but like Alon said, we often see entrepreneurs who are knocked out in round one go on to build incredibly successful businesses. Nthabiseng and Cindy, I'm sure you'll do the same. Best of luck to you both. Look, eliminations are never fun, but I've got just the thing to lighten up the mood. Our viewer competition. If you'd like to get your hands on a 5,000 Rand Avo Super Shop voucher, courtesy of Nedbank, plus a strategy mentorship package from Raise Corp, and access to Flowcode business scaling software, you need to answer 2 questions. Firstly, what is Cindy's textile made from? Secondly, go online to flowcodepowered.com and tell us if Flowcode is a business operating system. Yes or no? WhatsApp your name and the right answers to 066 232 7355 before midnight tonight. We'll pick our winner through a random draw and contact them before 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll also post the winner's name on social media later this week. It could be you, but only if you enter. And that's a wrap for tonight. Let's meet back here next week Tuesday at 7 p.m. when the first 2 contestants from the blue group will be braving the pitching arena. From me, Khosi Khalil. Good night.
How do I feel about elimination? Disappointed, but I'm excited that I was able to actually get the feedback that I got, because then I know what to go and look for into expressing what the business that we're doing.
Well, I must tell you that being eliminated, it's not a nice feeling. you know, it's yeah, it's not something that I've expected, because I have become an expert in what I do, and we have fantastic products, and I think that they just missed out on a great investment.